Hi everyone, welcome to A Few Minutes with Marky. Because so many of us are working from home these days, I thought today we could explore proper ergonomics. I'd like to introduce to you Andrew. Andrew loves ergonomics, and he's going to be helping us learn about ergonomics today. Ergonomics is the science of fitting the work environment to the worker. Ergonomics is not to be confused with body mechanics, which is the use of proper body positions and movements in order to maintain neutral alignment to protect the body from injury. Using proper ergonomics and body mechanics is our top defense against musculoskeletal injury, or MSK injury for short. An MSK injury is an injury of any muscle, tendon, ligament, nerve, joint, cartilage, or bone. They are often called overuse or strain injuries and include conditions such as sciatica, carpal tunnel, low back pain, and herniated discs. Proper ergonomics means that there's a seamless fit between the worker and the environment, meaning that everything is set up so well that the worker feels little to no physical strain. To understand proper ergonomics and body mechanics, we must first start with posture. Our goal is to maintain as neutral a posture as possible because our neutral posture is the most stable and safest posture in which to place stress on the body. Here is Andrew with relaxed posture. Unless specifically trained to, our bodies will always take the lazy route when it comes to posture because good posture makes our muscles work harder against gravity. Now see how Andrew corrects his posture with placing his feet hip-width apart, straightening his back and neck, lifting his head and his chest, pulling his shoulders back to neutral with his hands relaxed at his sides and his chin with a small tuck. From the side, good posture looks like you could draw a line from your earlobe, through your shoulder, and down the middle of your arm to the ankle bone, as you can see here. Workstations should allow the worker to maintain a neutral, aligned spine, whether seated or standing. There is no one perfect working position for everybody because we all have muscles that are too tight or too weak or an injury that has reduced our range of motion, etc. However, we do have some basic guidelines based on maintaining good posture and good health. Neutral seated posture looks something like this. Hips, knees, and ankles are supported at angles slightly more open than 90 degrees. Knees are at or below the hip joints. Ankles are in line or in front of the knees. Feet are making full contact on the floor or full contact on the footrest. Lumbar support in the backrest enables neutral pelvic posture, which maintains the lower back curvature. Shoulders are low and relaxed, with arms relaxed at his sides. Elbows are between 90 and 120 degrees, so his wrists can be neutral. His neck is neutral, which is in line with his spine, with a slight chin tuck, and his eye level is straight ahead or 1 to 30 degrees below eye level. We want the equipment that he's using to be set up to maintain this nice neutral posture. There is, however, some discrepancy in the literature about whether this is in fact the most safest, neutral, stable position to remain in while seated. For instance, we could be using a saddle seat. This type of seat encourages a neutral pelvis. You can see how the lower back curvature is maintained here. Engagement of your core and an open hip angle. The open hip angle is helpful for those with tight hamstrings, but difficult for those with tight hip flexors. Exercise balls are also an alternative seat option that engages your core and allows for various hip, knee, and ankle positions. Take a look at Andrew here on his laptop. This is one of the most common postures this day and age due to laptops and smartphones. It's recommended that you use a desktop monitor at the appropriate height as much as possible so you can reduce the use of this posture. You can use a height adjustable base or whatever you have around the house to bring the monitor to the correct height. Research shows that we should not be spending more than 50 minutes in one position, so change your position frequently while still remaining within the recommended ranges. One way you can do this is change up your work tasks that require various positions, or just alternate your day between sitting and standing. Here is Andrew at a standing desk. He looks almost exactly as his neutral posture we viewed earlier, except the need for bent elbows for typing. His feet are now his base of support, so we need to ensure proper shoes and stance.
It's best to wear shoes that provide the necessary support for your unique foot. Wear shoes that don't change the shape of your foot, including your arch when you walk, and allows freedom of movement of your toes. A good stance is keeping your body close to your desk, facing the object that you're working on, and having your feet hip-width apart, weight-bearing through both legs. You can also use an anti-fatigue mat to reduce leg, foot, and back fatigue.
Additionally, you can offload some weight by placing one foot on a ledge or step stool or foot rail in order to shift the weight, or use a leaning stool to help take force off your lower back and promote comfort while standing. Wrist positioning is a really tricky topic because research is inconclusive of the best wrist position for injury prevention. It is recommended that workers lift their wrists up when typing and using a mouse, but it's just not a sustainable posture for anyone. So this results in our wrists resting on our desk or our mouse pad or our keyboard, which causes significant pressure and therefore carpal tunnel or other MSK disorders. Some alternative options are to add a gel pad to your mouse pad or your keyboard, as it has some pressure reducing properties, or use an atypically shaped keyboard or mouse option. Additional items to consider at your workstation is appropriate lighting to reduce eye strain, appropriate noise level to reduce hearing damage, and appropriate temperature to reduce the risk of acute temperature-related conditions.
That's all we have for you today, so thanks for joining us, and we hope you learned something new.